I want to run up to his big toenail and
just
Forgot I had to make a video about these people. So VenturianTale, we all remember these people, right? It feels like a couple centuries ago since we last seen VenturianTale, but really we haven't seen them in a couple years due to the fact there was drama on the channel between the family and the siblings and stuff that I will cover later on in this video. Out of all of the other YouTubers I've covered or are going to cover in the future, VenturianTale's story is kind of interesting, not because they're like a good gaming channel or anything, but the shit that happened after it. In the sea of gaming YouTubers where you had your Markipliers and Corey Kitchens and Jacksepticeye, there was one eyesore, and that was VenturianTale. Out of the sea of the gaming YouTube channels that are far worse than VenturianTale for some reason gets picked on the most in the gaming community on YouTube, not because of them making bad content, but more so of the stuff that transpired in 2021 with its sibling drama family stuff for a channel that they really never knew. If you actually look at their channel, you realize that there's some great stuff to VenturianTale. Not as much as like other gaming YouTubers that are like far better in my opinion, but VenturianTale does have some type of charm or something. I don't know. I'm just like rambling on. Let's just get to the point.
Mommy, am I a good boy?
VenturianTale was created on January 16th of 2013, mainly consisting of 4 siblings that would play games together, like Jordan, Issac, Cierra, and Bethany Frye. The other 3 siblings also have YouTube channels, but I don't really think that they're like active anymore or probably deleted. Wouldn't be the first time of them deleting a channel. The siblings would mostly play Garry's Mod or Minecraft, or Jordan would just commentate over his series videos with like Skyrim and Fallout since it was his channel. I don't really have much stuff to say about Jordan's series videos, probably the fact because they're fucking longer than One Piece and they're like 45 minutes long per episode. I was not gonna do that for research. I heard the Fallout series was pretty good, so leave it in the comment section if it is. I don't know. They would mainly stay in Minecraft and then Garry's Mod. Garry's Mod especially because they have a weird Stockholm syndrome to the game, which will be relevant later on since it's one of their downfalls. Oh yeah, we're talking about that downfall. I can't get over the fact that this guy pronounced VenturianTale as VenturianTale. Around 2014, they would gear their content towards Garry's Mod content, which makes sense because Garry's Mod was also one of the most popular games around in the 2010s. Do you know how one game can like start a creator's career? It started Vandamelon's career, and it definitely started fucking VenturianTales', and that was Five Nights at Freddy's, obviously. It's kind of funny how people get popular off this stuff, and then later on it becomes outdated, and then the channel will start dying. But from what I've seen from VenturianTale, the FNAF videos were pretty entertaining at the time. Even when I watched these when I was younger, I couldn't just handle the fucking screaming. It was a little too much for me. I feel like the siblings' commentary and chemistry were a lot better than other gaming YouTubers besides maybe Game Grumps. I know a lot of people hate Aaron Hansen, but just give me this one. My favorite was definitely Bethany, probably because she didn't talk as much as Jordan or didn't yell as much, and she also made like those kind of like cute voices that she did. I think Cierra also did them as well. I'm not sure, these people just kind of sound the same. Probably because Bethany was also just one of the most relatable members in my opinion. Jordan was just always screaming, and Issac was just fucking insane. I don't know, man. The men kind of freaked me out a lot more than the women because the women were calm and collective. And then Jordan and Issac would do the stupidest bullshit. Related note though, Bethany made all the official renders for VenturianTale, and they actually look pretty good because they had this rare anime aesthetic, and I'm a sucker for anime. I think around in 2014 is when their channel started popping off a lot more than other gaming channels because of Five Nights at Freddy's and Garry's Mod. They would also make Garry's Mod series too, like the Muarko-Chans for example. The Muarko-Chan family is a pretty weird series because you can kind of feel that nobody really cared when making this series, and I'm not saying that there wasn't any passion, but I feel like they had to do it for some obligation. The series consisted of 4 main characters named Papa, Gertrude, Sally, and Billy Muarko-Chan respectively. It was basically your stereotypical weird family you would see in your neighborhood, or a very incestuous one.
That's a good idea, Sally. That's a good idea. This is why I pay you.
she's 17, Scott.
I'm not really gonna comment on this, and I don't bother to, but they also had other characters too named Jimmy Ghost and Jimmy Toast, which was separate from the Muarko-Chans. They were basically like ghost hunters, and I have to include Jordan's alter ego because it wouldn't be a video without that. Like many gaming YouTubers in the 2010s, for example, like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. For whatever reason, Jordan also had an alter ego named Jimmy Casket, which was basically a psychotic and evil version of him. To be honest, I really thought it was just him in disguise, but you get my point. I mean, like, the shit he used to do though. You know, maybe foreshadowing is kind of a thing at this point. It's his whole thing. It felt kind of cringy rewatching a whole bunch of stuff with Jimmy Casket in it, since it's literally alter ego Jordan, and yeah, who likes Jordan, to be honest? I know Markiplier and Jacksepticeye also has alter egos, but the way they incorporated it in their videos made a lot more sense than Jordan just acting crazy at the start, even though that's how Jordan is actually in real life. With those guys, you can see that they're putting up an act, while Jordan, it feels so forced. And the annoying, pretentious commentary he does as Jimmy Casket is just like, oh my god, just fucking shoot me, bro.
Guess what?
You're bad.
My mother was a man!
Oh, Jordan, we will never get sick of you. Or at least not yet. I think those are the majority of the characters they usually use in their Gmod series videos. I might have missed a couple of them or didn't really bother to mention them, but shout out to Harper Well for talking about the story about VenturianTale and mentioning this in her videos. On the side note, I think me and Harper are like cousins or something because our avatars look alike, and I was literally in the Harper Well verse vid. But I wore it better though. Although I think she's more recognizable though, so I guess she wins there.
Ooh, feisty little thing.
I want to mention some of Jordan's gameplay series because I didn't really bother to mention it at the start of the video. I watched a total of 2.5 series, and you may be wondering what the hell does 2.5 mean? Well, I watched some of his Skyrim series, and all I really have to say about that is Jordan's a little weird.
I'm going to like spread some lotion on the end of my arrow and shoot it into your body.
Don't worry guys, the signs will be deafening sometime soon.
This is why I pay you.
The other two gameplays I watched from Jordan was Minecraft Season 2 or an Awkward Tale or Awkward Tale Season 2 or something like that. Now you may be wondering, why didn't I watch Season 1? 45-minute episodes, what the hell? All I remember from the Minecraft series is that like they found a cat and they built a base near the lava, and then Jordan and Isaac went to go find some gold or something, and Bethany and Cierra just stayed behind to the old base or something like that. I don't know, it was really boring. Jordan was racist to red flowers, and I fucking hated the outro so much. And like half of the Undertale one was just fine, I guess. It's just really boring because of Jordan's commentary and him not knowing how to play the fucking game. All I remember is him hating on tutorial because the goat mom was controlling him or something. Why are we hating on the goat mom again?
And I'm also very yellow in color. Probably something wrong with my kidneys.
Gaming videos weren't their only thing they did. They also did fan mail and vlogs on the other side too, on the main channel as well. The other siblings also had vlogs on their main channel, but I don't really think anybody gives a fuck about that because we're talking about VenturianTale Jordan Frye, not like his mom or something.
This is ridiculous.
I think her channel got taken down.
I have a hole in my shoes.
When watching these vlogs now, it kind of feels surreal because I feel like I'm watching mentally aged regressed teenagers or early adults play like children outside with like a camera or a tripod. And you might be wondering why I'm saying this or why I'm telling you guys this now. It will come into play a lot later on, but without joking or anything like that I've been doing for the past couple of minutes, it's kind of sad but also charming in a way to see these people kind of play like children outside. These people were sheltered at a very young age, so of course them going outside was like eating cotton candy for the first time. Looking at the newer vlogs as of recent kind of feels surreal in a way because every new vlog you can see them growing up little by little mentally, to the point that Jordan even got a girlfriend. Nice! Meet Jessica, the 5th unofficial member of the squad, and to be honest, I like Jessica. Jessica is pretty cool. She's like Cierra and Bethany mixed together, but a little bit more calmer. Jessica didn't really interact with the rest of the siblings before they shortly disbanded in 2021, so I wouldn't know their basic chemistry outside of maybe a couple of YouTube videos they recorded. But her addition to the squad is nice nonetheless, so gold star, you get thumbs up, Jessica. I like you. Around in 2015 is what I would say that the golden age kind of ended for VenturianTale and they were going down a downfall because Garry's mod at the time was dying and nobody played this game anymore. And the fact that they relied on Fnaf's popularity at the time after an ended quote unquote by Sky Cawthon really hindered their ability to rise even further. But their channel would not really show all too much loss and growth or anything like that because their channel was still popular amongst gaming YouTubers and Gmod and Minecraft and all those other games were still semi-popular at the time with other YouTubers. I remember for a brief period of time where they had nothing but Elsa on their fucking thumbnails and it was actually kind of annoying. You remember when Elsagate was a thing? This was literally Elsagate as well. I kind of find it shocking how the fact that they didn't rely on floating PNGs chasing you as a career choice, because Glich'e Gaming and Msbreezy did that so many times. Maybe it was for the better though, because everybody was trying to innovate their content in the late 2010s, while VenturianTale kind of stayed the same. I will probably talk about this more in depth in like a Garry's mod video or something like that, and how I feel about it as a career choice, since it's not really sustainable in a long time, or even at all. But for some reason VenturianTale kind of sticked out like a sore thumb, in a good way, because they had 2 million subscribers in 2015, which they were still doing good. Most likely because they also posted other gaming content as well instead of just Garry's mod until a couple years later. There's been a lot of foreshadowing in this video, holy fuck. Before I mention the more important stuff, I want to mention their music for a little bit. If you didn't know, Jordan made some music for his series videos, like for example the Minecraft intro and outro he did, or just OSTs in general for his series videos. And yeah, this did kind of seem cool at the time, but now looking at this in retrospect, all of the songs are just so unrememberable. Besides the one that's playing in the background right now named Jeremy. I actually kind of like it and it's kind of catchy. Jordan did actually play the piano or keyboard at one point, which was pretty impressive, so that's how I think he made these songs, or his computer or something like that. All I'm saying is that at least he had some type of musical talent instead of something like this.
Hotel? Do you want to know my secret? Come on, let's stop.
No. Think about after 2018 is when their content just started getting stale, like fucking shovelware content, and their channel just started dying. Because at the time in the late 2010s, every Gmod YouTuber, for example like Glich'e Gaming and Vanos Gaming, would try to innovate their content or do something new, or inherently just all around not even do Gmod content. And even though I love to meme the fuck out of Msbreezy and Glich'e Gaming, you got to admit that they did try to innovate their content at one point, and they did change. At least one of them did before one of them deleted their channel. But with everybody changing in the late 2010s and trying to innovate their content and pivot away from their own niches, VenturianTale really never did that, and they kind of just stayed the same in their little bubble. And it also didn't help the fact that the siblings kind of just started disbanding themselves away from each other after Jordan got married to his girlfriend Jessica in like 2021. But everything kind of went to shit in 2021 after VenturianTale made their final post with Bethany making her video about what happened and the stuff like that in the family. I don't really think I could beat around the bush here any longer, because I do need to talk about the allegations, and this was a huge part in their downfall as well. Oh boy, the allegations. Before I start talking about the allegations, I just want to mention this here, that I'm not going to show any bias or pick sides or anything like that. This was a couple years ago. These people have most likely changed now. Alright, the allegations. So on June 16th of 2021, Bethany made a video about her experience living in a sheltered, political, Christian household with her siblings. The women were treated a lot differently than the men in the household, because there was a belief that women were inferior to men, and they also had to do the men's work as well, like yard work and laundry as well. Their family would constantly reinforce the idea that believing in other religions was satanic and wrong, and you would go to hell for doing that, and there was also homophobic beliefs too. There was even signs of child molestation present in the household, said by Bethany herself.
I was unable to speak out about a lot of things, and whether that be like molestation or just like there was a lot that happened in my childhood, and things that just happened to me in those ways that I've never been able to speak out about, and I still will not actually talk about that in depth. But I just, like, I could never talk about molestation or like feeling like I was belittled or not taken seriously because of who I was or being a girl, or I just hated my body because of the way it was so sexualized.
Bethany and Cierra were constantly shunned for wearing revealing clothing outside or anything like that, even though it would just be basically jeans and a shirt. That's why Bethany would always wear skirts in the vlogs as well. There's also other stuff that happened in the household as well, but I'm gonna just leave it at that, and it's honestly not my story to tell. And I think if you watch Bethany's video, you would have a clear picture of what happened. It seems like the rest of the family was kind of brainwashed into believing this kind of stuff besides the mom, but the mom also has some kind of dirt on her or something like that of the sorts because she's not a very good person either. I don't know, I haven't looked into too much about the mom. And that's kind of the end of VenturianTale, really. VenturianTale's story is kind of weird because of all the stuff that happened afterwards, but VenturianTale holds a special place in many kids' hearts. It is really upsetting that this stuff happens to Cierra, and especially Bethany with the child molestation shit. That really broke my heart. If you look at VenturianTale's channel nowadays, it seems to be abandoned, which is unfortunate, but I don't really see it happening when Issac or Jordan or any of the siblings coming back to do any more videos. And it's not like coming back like nothing ever happened or just posting again is going to fix VenturianTale's drought nowadays. That won't simply happen, and I don't think that will ever happen. Jordan and Issac and the rest of the siblings simply have better things to do with their life. Like I mentioned previously, there was a lot of people that try to innovate their content or differ from the niche of Garry's mod videos or not even post Garry's mod videos because it wasn't sustainable long term. There was a renaissance age in YouTube when people wanted to actually make their videos better and more unique, while VenturianTale never really changed their content. They never really changed anything. I don't really necessarily blame them either because they were just following the blueprint. It clearly worked, so why stop there? But it was a blueprint that worked all too well and it kind of alienated their fan base. I hope to at least some extent that the siblings are doing absolutely fantastic now. I love Bethany, I love Cierra, I love Issac, and I even love Jordan too. But if Issac and Jordan still have the beliefs that they were brainwashed as kids into believing, I don't know if I can support these people anymore. It's kinda sad how VenturianTale's story has to end on a sad note, but so be it, I guess.
Ooh, feisty little thing.